maybe in like the land of like white people, she's big, but in the land of black people, Madison is not big. Like, I would say she, you know, she a little thick, but she not big. The man in his press interview said, "I like to eat my boogers." Who do y'all know that is not on the spectrum that says, "I like to eat my boogers," even if they do? What's goody, what's up, y'all? It's your girl, Miss Amarachi. I'm here with a new video. If you're new here, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, hit that post notification so you're notified every time I post a new video, which hopefully is going to be more frequently because I'm trying to get a little bit more, you know, active on my YouTube page. As y'all can see from the title, today we're going to be talking about two very important things that I've seen or I saw in season 9 of Love is Blind. So let's get into it. Y'all know I usually don't really like to review the whole season because I feel like a lot of people do that. I like to pull out different things and themes that I notice happening over time. And I like to review those because I feel like that brings a little bit more of a conversation to, you know what I'm saying, to the ethos feel. So today I'm going to be talking about two different things I noticed in season 9. The first thing I'm going to be talking about is substance abuse. And I'm including alcohol in that because alcohol is a substance. You know what I'm saying? I can say this confidently even though I didn't watch season 8. That season 9 struggled, these contestants struggled the most with substance abuse, alcohol abuse on this show. And whether it was the intention of the producers and the network and whoever, which I believe it is because alcohol, you know, drunk actions are sober thoughts. Alcohol lowers your inhibitions and makes you say things that the producers probably want to utilize in a show. You know what I'm saying? But whether it was by accident or by fault, I feel like, again, I can say confidently that season 9, these contestants struggled the most, and I've seen the most alcohol abuse of all the seasons, even though I didn't even watch season 8. And I think it's because these contestants were not attracted to their partners. Now, I just posted a new video a few days ago called Love is Not Blind, so y'all can go and watch that, Joan. But essentially, I am of the belief that love is not blind, has never been blind, or will never be blind, whether it's in the real world or on the show. And it was shown and it was proven to be, you know, true on this season because we see that no one got married, 2 couples made it to the altar, 3 couples made it to the end, 6 got engaged, 5 made it to the honeymoon, and like I said, it started tapering off from then. And I think that because specifically these men, because it was really the men that were really struggling with this, because a lot of the men, they weren't ready to be engaged or married, they weren't attracted to their partner, some combination of both or other things, they turned to alcohol, which was the easiest thing for them to have access to because, you know, these producers are going to pump them with liquor, you know, like I said, to lower their inhibitions. They turned to alcohol to mask their real feelings. One example, main example, Joe and Madison. Joe, from the time he saw Madison, I knew was not attracted to that girl. I said, he not attracted to her. He even said it. Oh yeah, you know, I'm used to dating skinnier women, da da da, which is crazy because maybe in like the land of like white people, she's big, but in the land of black people, Madison is not big. Like, I would say she, you know, she a little thick, but she not big. Like, trust me, she not big. But Joe is used to dealing with the slim, you know what I'm saying, Victoria's Secret model, you know what I'm saying? You can see her whole collarbone type girls. And he said that throughout the whole joint when they was there. And I feel like because he wasn't physically attracted to Madison's physique, she's a beautiful girl, whether he was attracted to her, you know, face or not, he was not attracted to her physique. So because he was not attracted to her physique, he utilized alcohol to, like I said, get him to a place where he could tolerate her, right? And then after the alcohol is in his system, he's cool Joe. You can be intimate. Every time we heard Madison talk about their good times, there was always intimacy and sex that was tied into it, which I think is a huge problem. You know what I'm saying? And she never once sat back and thought, why does he keep having to get drunk, get inebriated in order for us to be intimate? But she's a child and she just, I don't know, maybe she just wanted to be loved. But we saw Joe. I'm talking about like first, second honeymoon night. This boy is plastered, laying out on the bed. I'm thinking he on alcohol and other drugs, but for sure he was drunk. You know what I'm saying? So we see that. We see Jordan get drunk as well. You know what I'm saying? To the point where like Megan is starting to take issue with it. And it's probably because he got a son at home. He can't really have nights like this. He's trying to, you know, let loose. But it also could be because, like, he is not ready to be married, right? Because I don't think that I don't think Jordan wasn't attracted to Megan. I just think that the pressures of getting married to somebody who is so much more financially stable and secure than you really weighed on him. And so he used alcohol to help him get over a lot of the things that he was scared to do and scared to admit to Megan, right? Then we see Anton and Allie. We see Allie confront Anton in a living room like, hey, what happened to this 12 case of Corona? He like, oh, me and my friend drank it. Then she like, okay, what happened to the tequila that was in the fridge? Oh, it's not there. Oh, well, I didn't have any. Oh, well, I drank it. You calling me alcoholic? Yes, that is what I'm calling you. Because that's what it is. It's alcohol abuse. This boy wake up in the morning, pour him up some liquor. She even asked him, she said, this what you do every day? Like, you just want to get drunk every day? You drink some mimosas every morning? He like, yeah, I like to drink, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think just overall, like, this is setting a bad light and shedding a bad light on Love is Blind, because y'all see that these people are dealing with real things. Mental illness, substance abuse, alcohol abuse. And yet you're giving them and pumping them with more liquor, more alcohol, more substances. Love is Blind currently has like 2 to 3 lawsuits and has had, I think, up to 5 lawsuits against from previous contestants about things that have happened while in the experiment, right? Everything ranging from kidnapping and not allowing them to leave their room and have access to a phone to SA. Right? There was a lawsuit that a previous contestant who was not shown, but was a contestant and got married, filed against Kinetic because she was SA'd and abused by her then fiance. And she was not allowed to leave his presence, even though she told told Kinetic, this man is doing these things, and Kinetic knew. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing is like, Kinetic, why are you continuing to put yourselves in a situation and put these contestants in a situation where bad things can happen? Because yes, Madison and Megan and Allie have never said that the intimacy that they had with their partner wasn't consensual, but we also don't know. Like, they could come out in 3 weeks and be like, yeah, actually, he was always drunk and he actually did things to me. And it's like, Kinetic, y'all the ones that are doing this. Y'all are the ones that are allowing this. You are the ones that are pumping them with liquor. So Kinetic needs to be held responsible for the alcohol abuse that they are enabling in their contestants. That's number one. Y'all know me. I like to get to the point. I don't like the videos to be too long. The second thing is mental health, okay? We're going to specifically talk about Edmond, all right? Whether y'all want to admit it, whether y'all want to agree with it, whether y'all want to whatever, you could, oh, you know what, you shouldn't diagnose that. Edmond is on the spectrum, autism spectrum. 100%. As somebody who studies psychology, as somebody who has family, friends that are on the spectrum, Edmond is on the spectrum, and that's okay. You deserve love. Edmond deserves the same love that someone who's not on the spectrum deserves. But in an experiment where you are in front of millions of eyes and you can't control all of your urges, you can't control yourself all the way. You have certain things that you do, certain things you say, some ways you act, which again are all fine. You should not be on a show like Love is Blind. You should not. You should not be on a show like Love is Blind. And for Netflix, Kinetic, whoever made the decision to put him on this show and showcase him, to do that is disgusting. Because y'all know that that boy is not all the way, you know that boy is on the spectrum. The man in his press interview said, I like to eat my boogers. Who do y'all know that is not on the spectrum that says, I like to eat my boogers, even if they do? Who do you know that's going to admit to the world, I like to eat my boogers? Who do y'all know that's going to say that? Someone on the spectrum. No? Yes. And so for Netflix to hear that, I know for a fact the reason why they let that boy go on there is because he's a black man. You can argue with whoever you want to argue with. You can't argue with me though, because I know Kinetic, Netflix, whoever, do not like black people on these dating shows, these reality shows. And it's really Kinetic, because Netflix is just the streaming platform that it's on. It's really Kinetic that makes the decisions as to who is on the show, who is in the season, who is shown, who's casted. It's Kinetic. Y'all don't like black people, specifically black men, especially black women, but y'all don't like black people. Okay? And so for y'all to see this man, his mannerisms, his words, his actions, his outbursts, and to continue to let him stay on the show like this, and put Calabria in a situation where she could have been hurt, she could have been taken advantage of, anything could have happened to her, and y'all just let him stay there, it's crazy. Day 1 honeymoon, day 2 honeymoon, this man is basically going off her because she don't want to have sex with him. Mind you, she told him in the past, I'm being abstinent. But when he finds out everybody else is getting some, he like, I'm the nice guy, I'm the nice guy. Well, I'm always the nice guy. That would have been the end for me. I'd have been like, y'all gonna get me out of here. I don't care. You can't sue me. Because y'all putting me in danger. Because y'all continue to let him sleep in the same room with this girl. What happens if he feel like he the nice guy and he gonna make sure that the nice guy gets some? Then what? Now y'all really in for it, because you just showed the world how this man has outbursts, how this man is on the spectrum. He's not all the way, you know what I'm saying, there. And y'all allowed this lady to stay in his presence. Granted, Calabria is a grown-ass woman. She could have got up and left all she wanted to. But I don't know what Kinetic tells the contestants. I don't know if Kinetic be like, you can't leave, because based on what Clay said he told Kinetic every day, I'm not marrying AD. If I go to the altar, it's going to be a no. And they still made him stay. So God only knows what Kinetic be telling these contestants. But it's like, why would y'all allow somebody to stay on a show? Why would you even cast somebody on a show that y'all know is not mentally all the way good? This is somebody who is in arrested development. What is arrested development? It's when something happens to you at a specific age and you grow up in, in stature, you grow up in number, but you don't grow up in mental capacity, right? You stay the age that the thing happened to you in. And so when Edmund talks about how his mama abandoned him, his daddy abandoned him, his parents was on drugs, he was in foster care, he was bounced around, his siblings is here, this and this and this and this. At a young age, he's in arrested development. Edmund is still the age, mentally, of when bad things were happening to him at home. He grew up in age, technically, but not in mental capacity, not in the ability to actually be a husband. And so when y'all find this out and y'all allow him to stay on the show and y'all keep him on the show and y'all exploit him, because that's really what it was. It was exploitation. They thought that was going to be a little kiki, a little funny moment. And of course, they love exploiting black people because, who better than to exploit black people, right? To exploit that man and to exploit Calabria to some extent, using her as a scapegoat and exploiting Edmund. And then to get all the way to the altar for her to say no, knowing that she wasn't going to say no, yes. She wasn't going to say yes. But thankfully, it was a contestant. Calabria is a contestant who has dealt with people who have been in the foster care system. You know what I'm saying? She's a social worker. So she was able to talk him off the ledge, because I know for a fact, I can say for 100% certainty, if he was with somebody who wasn't in the mental health space, in the educator space, in the social work space, that person would have just said whatever, did whatever, and it would have been worse. I guarantee you, if Calabria was not the person that he matched up with, it would have been worse. Like, it would have been 10,000 times worse. And it's just like, I just do not understand why y'all would rather have views than have views in somebody who is of the right mental capacity, of the right character, of the right ability to be on a show like this. Like Chelsea was over there talking about all the extensive questionnaires and the psychological evaluations and all this stuff. And this is what y'all thought, that he was psychologically sound enough to be on this show? You can't tell me you had a psychologist or a therapist on that show, because I am not even a trained psychologist. I just studied psychology in college. And I know that if I was the psychologist or therapist, I would not have approved for him to be on that show. And before y'all say, oh, everyone deserves to be able to showcase that they're deserving of love. Yes, but not on every show. Not on every show. Not on every show. There are shows for people like Edmund. There are opportunities that Edmund could be a part of, but not on a show where the premise is that you fall in love with someone blindly, and she's talking to you through a wall, and she don't even know that you over here kissing on the floor, licking the floor, making out with the floor. You eat your boogers. That's dangerous and nasty work right there. That's nasty work. So I think that Love is Blind needs to go back to the drawing board. They need to rewire, rework some things. Maybe I need to fire everybody and start over, because whoever's casting these folks, they need to be fired. And they really, and I'm going to put the onus on Netflix, because Netflix is the network, right? Like, people don't really take as much time to look up who is the production company, Kinetic. No, they're going to think it's a Netflix show because it's on Netflix. I think that Netflix needs to step in, and that they need to really like get this together, because this is a train wreck. This is a train. It's going downhill quickly. And like I said in my last video, I already know they already got like 5-6 seasons already in the can, ready to pop out. I wouldn't be surprised if by December we hear that a new Love is Blind is dropping in January or February. Mark my words. But before y'all do that, y'all need to go back. Y'all need to figure out if these are actual people that we want to showcase, right? Not just because of the drama, not just because of the views, but because like these are people who actually want to find love and are actually capable of being husbands and wives. Because let's remember that the whole goal of this show is for you to find someone and marry them. There is a wedding at the end of this show. I don't think y'all remember there's a wedding. Someone's going to be someone's husband. Somebody's going to be somebody's wife. Y'all need to start realizing and figuring out who is actually capable of being a husband and a wife. If you are not capable of being a husband or a wife, you should not be on this show, and you should not be casted, you should not be showcased, none of that shit. Because then what's the purpose? What's the purpose? You could have just gone on Perfect Match. Netflix has a show where you don't got to get married. It's called The Perfect Match. You could have just went on there. You could have went on Too Hot to Handle, Love Island. It's enough shows where you can just go be with the person. You know what I'm saying? You think they cute. You want to date, da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? You get out the pod, get out the house, get out the villa, and you just figure out if y'all still want to date. It's enough shows. But for a show where the premise is to fall in love blindly, meaning you can only go off of what this person says, but this person is doing other things. The premise of the show is for you to fall in love blindly and then for you to get married at the end. Netflix, Kinetic, Chris Colleen, whoever else, y'all not right. Y'all not right. Y'all not doing it right. So, yeah, that's what I got for y'all today. Like I said earlier, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the post notification button so you're notified every time I post a new video. Thank y'all for watching. Until next time, it's your Miss Amarachi. Peace, blessings, and love. Mwah.